Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening's Atlantic Tropical Basin update. So, it's been a few days since I've done an update, so I'm going to be doing a full Tropical Atlantic Basin update. Looking at Hurricane Nigel as of 5 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, Tuesday, September the 19th. Hurricane Nigel has strengthened to a Category 2 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour, a minimum central pressure of 974 millibars, and north-northwesterly movement at 14 miles per hour. We have a disturbance that is expected to develop off of Africa with a 70% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days. As of 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Tuesday, September the 19th, 2023. A tropical wave is expected to move off the west coast of Africa by Wednesday. Environmental conditions are forecast to be conducive for gradual development of the wave thereafter, and a tropical depression is likely to form late this week or this weekend while the system moves generally westward at 10 to 15 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic. Formation chance through 48 hours is low near 0%, but formation chance through 7 days is high at 70%. And then we have an area of interest just off of the southeastern coast with a 30% chance of tropical cyclone formation over the next 7 days. A non-tropical area of low pressure is expected to form east of the Florida Peninsula late this week. This system could acquire some subtropical characteristics this weekend while it moves generally northward. Regardless of development, this low is likely to bring gusty winds, heavy rain, and high surf to portions of the southeast and mid-Atlantic United States late this week into this weekend. Please see products from your local National Weather Service office for more details. Formation chance through 48 hours is low near 0%. Formation chance through 7 days is low near 30%. So if you live across the southeast, mid-Atlantic, and northeast, make sure you're watching this disturbance closely. Looking at the latest cone for Hurricane Nigel, Nigel is expected to remain a hurricane through Thursday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and weaken to a post-tropical storm by early Friday morning, and then rapidly move to the northeast, and we could see Nigel affect areas like Iceland and even areas like Ireland by Saturday and Sunday as it becomes a post-tropical cyclone in the northeastern Atlantic. So looking at the latest Zoom Earth satellite imagery and cone for Hurricane Nigel is looking very impressive on visible satellite. Nigel has acquired a massive eye, a near perfect pinwheel shape, and Hurricane Nigel is displaying some annular characteristics as it continues to move to the north-northwest and is about to make a curve to the north-northeast. So looking at the cone, by Wednesday 1 a.m. Central American Time, we're looking at 110 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane moving to the north. Going into Wednesday 1 p.m. Central Time, a 105 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane curving to the northeast. By Thursday 1 a.m. Central Time, a 90 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane curving to the northeast. By Thursday 1 p.m. Central Time, 80 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane racing to the northeast. And then by Friday morning, 70 mile per hour post-tropical cyclone. Friday 1 p.m. Central Time, 60 mile per hour post-tropical cyclone. And then curving to the northeast rapidly by Saturday afternoon as a 60 mile per hour post-tropical cyclone. And then curving to the north by Sunday 1 p.m. as a 45 mile per hour post-tropical cyclone, very close to Iceland. So now looking at the models for our potential storm in the southeast as well as potential tropical activity around the Caribbean. So over the next couple of days, Nigel is expected to move out to sea, and then by around Friday morning, the GFS model is spinning up a subtropical storm just off of the Carolina coast. And then as we go into Friday afternoon, the GFS model potentially has a strong subtropical storm making landfall in somewhere South or North Carolina. So make sure you are monitoring this trend closely in the Carolinas, as the GFS model is indicating a subtropical storm landfall late Friday night, early Saturday morning. And we could be seeing heavy rain spreading up the east coast into the northeast through Saturday and Sunday. Meanwhile, we see the GFS model spin up a tropical depression next Tuesday just east of the Lesser Antilles, and then we could see a rapidly intensifying tropical storm by Wednesday, September the 27th. However, this is very far out in the GFS model, so do not take this as gospel. Things are going to change. But this model run indicates a strong hurricane moving across the northeastern Caribbean by Friday, September the 29th. So this is a trend we're really going to have to watch, as the GFS model is indicating something could develop late next week in the just east of the Caribbean. Now, looking at the European model also shows Nigel going out to sea, and then the European model also shows a subtropical low developing Friday afternoon off of the Georgia-Florida coast, and the European model shows a weaker system. However, lots of rain along the Carolina coast into areas of New England through Saturday and Sunday, and a potential landfall in the Outer Banks of North Carolina by Sunday morning. So once again, if you live in the Southeast, Mid-Atlantic, even Northeast, make sure you're watching this system closely. And then the European model also shows this potential Caribbean system becoming a tropical storm by Tuesday, September the 26th. European keeps it weak and to the north, so this is a good trend in the European model. So I'm going to continue to monitor the trends on this potential system as well. And then looking at the Canadian model shows subtropical development off of the Carolina-Georgia coast by early Saturday morning, and then the Canadian shows a similar solution to the GFS, making a landfall in eastern North Carolina Saturday afternoon, and moves this subtropical low, bringing tons of heavy rain to the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast Saturday and Sunday. So thanks for watching this evening's tropical update. Make sure you're really paying attention to this area of interest if you live up and down the East Coast. And then this is going to be around next week. You're paying attention to this area of interest if you live in the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, and maybe even the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe and have a wonderful evening, my friends.